Hey O'Neill, how's it going?
How you doing, Holland? I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. Where are you at right now?
I'm in cold Minnesota.
How cold
I'm
is
in.
it?
Well, actually, today's not bad. I think it was like 12 degrees, so today really wasn't bad. But we just came off a cold snap of below zero.
Star, you were in LA last week and got some good news, right?
Yes, I was in LA last week, and I found out through I had my knee replaced. I had my a total knee replacement on my left knee, and got some excellent news that it's going very well. The surgery went exactly in accordance to what he wanted it to go, the way it should have went. And he said it was long overdue. He said my the flex in it, everything is going very well, and I was so happy to get that news. Very happy.
That's great. We're happy for you, definitely. It's great
Yeah,
news.
yeah, it's going good.
So I just wanted to interview a few of the BL alum and let people at home that are auditioning for the show kind of know what you experienced along your journey to actually making it on the show. Because once you're on the show, obviously America gets to see you going through your weight loss transformation, but they don't know what went on before that. So thought it might
Yeah.
be kind of neat to interview a few of you and see your perspective on things. So
Sure, sure,
kind of
sure.
take me through how it came about that you would audition for Biggest Loser, and did you audition multiple seasons or just one? And just kind of
Hmm.
take me through your journey.
Absolutely, no problem. Well, I had kind of a unique audition, so to speak. Sunshine was looking for a job here in Minnesota, and I'm an upper level manager for the Postal Service. Well, she was supposed to come in the Postal Service, and she didn't. Her score was 1% low, 1% lower than what it should have been. And so she just missed the cut. No, a tenth of a percent. A tenth. That's how much she missed the cut. So she moved down to Arizona and they had audition. So she moved down to Arizona and she gets down there with her cousin and her cousin says, Sunshine, what reality shows do you like? She said, oh, I like Survivor and The Biggest Loser. And she said, oh my God. She said, they auditioned for The Biggest Loser. You should go on it. And she said, thanks a lot. You really need to be on The Biggest Loser. So, but the reality of it was she did. She needed to be on it as well as I did. So she never told me she auditioned for The Biggest Loser. And the season that we auditioned, season 9, was for couples. So she went there and she interviewed with you. Said, my dad's not here and you guys asked her for a picture. She said, you got a picture of him? And she said, yes. So she showed you a picture and I guess apparently you guys wanted me to come because you must have liked something in the picture. It wasn't the smile, I can tell you that. But yeah, so Sunshine called me after you told her to call me. She called me later on that night, and she called me in the middle of the night because she was contemplating on should I call him, should I not call him, how I'm gonna do this, because she knew that I had a bad knee. I had a bad knee for years from my military and playing football and wrestling and all the things I've done. So she knew that physically it would be a hard challenge for me. So she, so she called me at 1 in the morning my time, and she started the conversation in the worst way you ever want to hear from your kid. She said, Dad, please don't be mad at me. I said, Sunshine, what did you do, baby? I said, what did you do? She said, well, I auditioned for The Biggest Loser, and I know I didn't tell you, but they want you to come down here. They really want us to audition together. I said, yeah, right, Sunshine. I said, how's the weather in Arizona? I thought she was pulling my leg. And she told me in the most stern, serious voice, she said, Dad, we need a change. Will you please come down here now and help me? And I was down there it took me 2 days. I got a ticket. It was very expensive, short notice, but I got a ticket and I was down there the next day actually. And auditioned with you guys. And Sunshine and I, we walked in and we did our interview process. And and I thought it went very well. It wasn't so much that I thought it went very well, is that I was very comfortable that I gave it my best. Some of the things that I did, and I told Sunshine as well. I said, Sunshine, we're not going to tell them what they want to hear. We're not going to tell them what we think they want to hear because we didn't know what you guys want to hear. I said, we're not going to be anybody but ourselves. I said, we're going to get this or we're going to lose it on our own merit. And that's exactly what everyone else should do. They should be themselves. I wanted to bring passion and I wanted to bring myself to the interview, and that's all. It wasn't so much of the game plan, the this, the that, the smiling when necessary, the anything. I just wanted to be myself, and I wanted to be. I wanted you guys to know how bad we wanted it, and how hard we were going to work, and that's all it was. And apparently, I guess you guys liked it. I'm so glad you did, and it was a very nice process, though.
Tell us what you guys were talking about or thinking before you walked into the interview room, because you didn't really know what to expect. So what were you thinking or feeling?
I guess you always have fear. Anytime you have fear, it's the fear of the unknown. Because if you know what to expect, you can prepare for it, and you wouldn't be scared. It was so much fear of the unknown that we were thinking, oh, Dad, how are we going to answer these questions? And I just kept reassuring Sunshine, just be ourselves. I said, we're going to conduct this like it's a conversation between me and you, and we making a plea for mom that we want something that we really want. And I said, that's all we can do, baby. I said, if just let our merits, the same thing I taught you the last, at that time she was 24, so the same thing I taught you the last 24 years, and the same thing I learned the 52 years of my life, we're going to dance to the same music. I said, because if we get on the show, that's what we got to be, these same people. And that's exactly what we did. In fact, I remember we had to go up a flight of steps, and I remember struggling to get up those steps, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, if I'm struggling to get up these steps, what the heck is Bob and Jillian going to do to me if I make it? Those were the type of things that was going on in my mind, because I couldn't climb steps. I had a bad knee. I simply couldn't climb steps, and I didn't know. And I remember climbing that flight of steps, thinking, Jesus Christ, how is this going to work? And I just said, I'm just throwing all cautions to the wind. I need the help, and come hell or high water, I'm gonna do the best I can. That's all I did.
How did you decide what you were going to wear? And did you come and dress kind of sloppy, or did you look nice? Tell us about that.
Well, I told her, I said, the old cliche, you never get a second chance at a first impression. So I said, Sunshine, and I dress like that daily at my job. So I said, Sunshine, we should somewhat match. I said, I had this turquoise shirt and a nice tie, and the print of the tie was matching the top that she had on. And I think we clashed. It was perfect. It was a nice mix. The shirt, the shirt in interviews, you always want to look bright and happy, and which we truly were. And I wanted to look bright and happy. I didn't want to come in there and look like a dog that's been beat too much. I didn't want to, I didn't want to look like, I'm a Mr. Dalton Thomas or something. I truly wanted to show you exactly who I was, a positive, upbeat person who needed change, and that's all it was. But yeah, I dressed it. I had a shirt and tie on. It was a nice shirt, a nice tie, and Sunshine had on a nice top that matched the shirt. Yeah. And the one question that you guys asked was, why do we want this so bad? Yeah, that was why do we want it so bad? And oh my God, I started welling up because I've never been asked that before. I've never been asked a question like that, and it seemed like that he just gave me an overhand right between the eyes. And I really had to contemplate that. Why do you want this so bad? And it just kind of oozed out the truth. I wanted it for my happiness. I wanted it for my family. I didn't even think twice about myself at the time. I thought about how unhappy I've been for the last 30 years. I carried that weight around for 30 years. And the person on the ranch at the time when I went there, they were all 30-year-old kids. So as long as they've been alive, I was carrying that weight around. And the hard thing for me is I wasn't always heavy. When I was their age, I was in the jungles fighting. And that is just that simple. And for me to carry that weight around all those years, and it didn't hit me until you guys asked that question. And that made me want it even more so than I ever wanted it before. That was a perfect question. I think really you should ask that to every single person who you think has a chance of getting on the show. And when you ask that question, you have to do a gut check. I mean, it was an automatic gut check for me, at least for me. And I think anybody who's sincere in this whole process, that is the point to where they really, 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 when you really find out who and what they are. That's what it did for me, at least for me. And I think if you human, you have the same feeling. When you guys asked me that, I had the biggest gut check, and I started welling up. I started crying. It's like, wow, wow, yeah, you know, why do you want this? And I told you exactly why, and it was the truth. My father always said, never be afraid to look a person in the eye and tell the truth, and that's exactly what I did. I looked you down and I told the truth, and even you, the fact that you actually now it kind of resonates the same. Exactly, even talking about this now, and that's been a year and a half ago. But still, the same emotions, you know, the same emotions come clear when you want something bad and you do a gut check, it will happen. And that's exactly what it was. And I knew I had a bad orthopedic problem, but I know that I wanted to change my life more. The pain in my knee couldn't come close to the desire for me getting better. And that's what it was. You asked what was the time span between we knew we were coming on. You know what though? It is a perfect process that you guys do. Now, I wouldn't say this going through it or waiting that time, but you know, it's a reason for everything. And I think it's a perfect time of the unknown again, because again, you go through the serious gut check of why you really want this and what are you going to do when you get there. And that was so perfect because I needed that time to gather my thoughts and to come together mentally to be able to do this challenge of a life changing event. But you asked how long was it? It was probably about a month and a half before I genuinely knew. Yeah. And it was all right though. I mean, I really enjoyed that.
Worth the wait, huh?
It was well worth the wait. It was well worth the wait. Right now, I started an NPO. I started a nonprofit organization. It's called the O'Neill Hampton Wellness Foundation. I travel all over the country speaking. I spoke to 10 of the Fortune 500 companies. And the biggest thing I did, and the most thing I'm so happy with, I started a fitness resort. I bought into a fitness resort, and it's called Fitness North, www.fitnessnorth.net. That's what I'm more proud of because we are paying it forward. Sunshine, she is so beautiful still. She's running all. She joined a running club. She ran a half a marathon 2 weeks ago. She's running another half marathon in a week, and she's just amazing. She's living in Arizona, going to school, and she go to school part time, and she still works out. I have her speaking with me on time to time, and she come up to Fitness North. I fly up to Fitness North, and she come up there to speak and to work at my camp at the fitness resort. And she is doing such a wonderful job. And we both are paying it forward. She's all excited over the new man in her life, Adam from season 10. I really like Adam. Adam is a very, very nice young man. He gets the two thumbs up. Adam's a nice man. He is a nice young man. I love that guy. He is a nice, well respected, well respectful man. Yes, he is. Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
that's great. We're so glad that you're doing so well, and thank you
Yeah.
so much for your time today. Anything else you want to say to the BL12 hopefuls?
Well, to the BL12 hopeful, just be yourself. Want it bad enough to make a difference, and be yourself is all I can tell you. And let that fire resonate in your heart, and let it come up, and you guys will see it. And this is not the end all and be all. One thing you got to know is no one responsible for your situation but you. So if you don't make it on this, please, please, please continue trying because you can't go wrong when you try. I made up in my mind if Sunshine and I didn't make it on the show, this is where my life is going to start. And my the one thing I tell is your tomorrow starts today.